Hello fantasy managers, and welcome back for another video. My name's Jack, and today we're going to go over our Matchday 2 team selection for World Cup Fantasy. As always, drop a like and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the World Cup Fantasy related content, and also click that notification bell to stay up to date with all of our recent uploads. Also check out our second channel, FPLflare. We've been posting World Cup and general football related stuff over there, so check that out. The link to that is in the description. With that being said, let's jump into the video. So first of all, let's have a look at how this side have got on in Matchday 1. Just keeping in mind that there still is more games to go in Matchday 1. There is 4 more fixtures left. But let's have a look at how this side has gone on so far. Our goalkeeper, Diego Costa, and our defender, João Cancelo. They both haven't played yet. They still are yet to face Ghana later this evening. I'm sure Portugal will be looking to put in a great defensive performance in this one and hopefully get a clean sheet, as looking around the squad, we definitely do need the points from these two players. So hopefully Portugal can get the clean sheet in this game. That will be massively helpful to the total points that we do score, and goalkeepers do get very nice points for clean sheets. Looking to the defenders now, Denzel Dumfries did get himself 6 points as Netherlands picked up the clean sheet in their first fixture. I've always been keen on Dumfries being a good pick, and he is quite highly selected, and he is one that is looking to stay in the squad for the Matchday 2 wildcard team, as Netherlands do have some nice fixtures coming up, probably getting the hardest fixture out of the way in Senegal in Matchday 1. They have 2 fixtures in Matchday 2 and 3, which I do think could be worthwhile targeting. Kieran Trippier just managed the 1 point as England's defence couldn't record a clean sheet against Iran, as Taremi did score a double against them. Trippier was quite good from an attacking perspective though. He was on lots of corners and free kicks, and he did get decently far up the pitch, putting a couple of crosses as well. So I do like him. Still, he is going to be remaining in the squad for the wildcard team as well, as I do fancy that England defence with USA and Wales as the next 2 fixtures, and also Trippier, as he showed in Matchday 1, does have good goal and assist potential. Was quite unfortunate not to have an assist from a corner, as there was a header that hit the crossbar, so definitely one to look out for there. And Joachim Male did get himself 6 points in Matchday 1, as Denmark recorded a clean sheet in a pretty eventful game against Tunisia. This game did end 0-0, but there were chances at either end, but fortunately Denmark did get the clean sheet there. Looking to the midfielders now, Kevin De Bruyne just playing with the 2 points. Didn't really provide a massive amount throughout the game, as his expected goals and assists combined were just 0.3 for that full 90 minutes, so didn't really get too involved, and at this current stage, not looking like the best value player for £11 million, as some of the premium forwards have definitely been firing and putting up great underlying numbers, so potentially a player that we are looking to downgrade to upgrade that third forward. Jamal Musiala couldn't provide anything for Germany in a very disappointing loss for their side to Japan, and Steven Bergwijn rounded out the midfield with just another blank. In fact, he only got himself 2 points, making it 3 blanks from the 3 starting central midfielders. Bergwijn unfortunately couldn't get involved for Netherlands. I was tossing up between him, Memphis and Gakpo to target that Netherlands attack. Gakpo did provide the goal, and Bergwijn and Memphis missed out, so he's another player that we may be looking to move on as well. Looking to the forwards though, it was very nice to see Messi get himself a goal in captaincy. He definitely could have had more returns in this game, as there was quite a lot of controversy with that Lautaro Martinez goal. Messi was just offside as well for his goal, so he could have had even more here. He is currently staying on captain for us, but I am definitely thinking about switching the captaincy over to Neymar, as he is yet to face Serbia. He will play later today, and I'm hoping the Brazilian forward can produce something for his side. And Antoine Griezmann did run out the front 3 with just the 1 point. I was still very happy that I was still had my reasoning, in fact, behind picking Griezmann, as he put up very, very good underlying stats. He actually does have the highest expected assists out of any player so far in World Cup Fantasy, but walked away with 0 returns in this game. I really liked a couple of chances that he had. Unfortunately, one of his shots was cleared off the line. Could have even had 2 assists in this game as well, so definitely missed that on a mega haul there from Griezmann, but still, I can't go against that pick. I had my reasoning behind it. Just couldn't get those attacking returns. And then Harry Kane was the 12th man, as we did activate our 12th man chip. He was quite good for us, picking up 7 points, which actually does make him the highest scoring player in the squad with 7 by getting himself 2 assists. And as we touched on, Messi with a 6 points, just slightly underscored him. We are looking to switch the captaincy over to Neymar. Quickly having a look at the bench, Benjamin Pavard, DePaul and Hatem all blank with the 1 point, so that is why they sit on the bench. And the Uruguay goalkeeper is still yet to face South Korea. His game is later today as well, so we'll have to see how that Uruguay defense fares after a fairly decent batch of defensive performances throughout the World Cup qualifiers and recent internationals. So with that all in mind, let's have a look at our match day statistics. We have only scored the 38 points so far this game week, a very, very disappointing start to World Cup fantasy. The main reasons for our poor rank as well, I would have to say, is not having Mbappe in the side. We went for Griezmann as that budget alternative. As we touched on, Griezmann had very good expected stats, couldn't put the points on the board, and Mbappe did record 9 points. And then splashing the cash on De Bruyne in the midfield couldn't quite prove effective, as he just got the 2 points for Belgium. Regardless, the overall rank does sit at 440k roughly in the world right now, which obviously isn't a very good rank, but we are looking to switch the captaincy over to Neymar, take a punt, hope for a good rank rise if Neymar can haul for Brazil, which can see us climb up the ranks heading into matchday 2, where we have activated our wildcard, so let's have a look at that squad. So here is our wildcard team selection for matchday 2. I am hoping for a much better matchday than in matchday 1, as we did put up quite a poor performance there. But let's have a look at the changes that have been made to the side, as there are quite a few. The first one does come in goals, as Mendy steps in place of Diogo Costa. Mendy comes into the side as he has 2 pretty favourable fixtures coming up, with Qatar and Ecuador as his next 2 opponents. And especially since Qatar is his fixture at matchday 2, I am very keen on a Senegal clean sheet in this one. We saw Qatar not really provide too much from an attacking perspective against Ecuador, and with Senegal's defence being arguably stronger, I can see Mendy picking me up some clean sheet points in matchday 2, and there is always the potential for some save bonus as well. But definitely looking to target that Senegal defence with 2 pretty good fixtures coming up. Well, hopefully they can get at least 1, if not 2, clean sheets across the next 2 games. Timothy Castagna does step into the side as well. We did originally look to have Thomas Meunier. If you saw our wildcard template video yesterday, I will switch him over to Castagna, as Castagna put up 6 points in matchday 1, and he looked pretty decent value for his price. He is £500,000 cheaper than Thomas Meunier as well, and it was a slight doubt as to whether Castagna would be getting starting minutes, but it's good to see him get that start for Belgium, get the 6 points under the belt. And with Morocco not providing a massive amount against Croatia in their matchday 1 fixture, I am hopeful for that Belgium clean sheet, as their defence is pretty strong in general. Denzel Dumfries does remain in the squad. I was quite happy with him after recording 6 points in matchday 1, and with Ecuador in matchday 2, it is a slightly easier fixture than his Senegal fixture in matchday 1, so hopefully Netherlands can get back-to-back clean sheets. As always with Dumfries, he offers good attacking potential. He did provide a goal and an assist throughout the World Cup qualifiers, so if he can get himself another attacking return throughout the group stage, that would definitely be preferable. Dumfries is in the same basket as Mendy as well, as after Senegal and Netherlands playing in matchday 1, both of these sides do have Ecuador and Qatar as the last 2 fixtures in the group, which are relatively easier fixtures compared to some of the other ones in the tournament. So that's why I'm happy to have Denzel Dumfries on the side. And Kieran Trippier does remain in the squad as well, as at £5 million looks to be a great value defender for England. USA were pretty decent in fact in their first game, drawing 1-1 to Wales, but I am hoping that England defence can bounce back and get themselves a clean sheet. Obviously with USA and Wales as the next two fixtures as well, I would be expecting at least 1 clean sheet in the next 2 for England, and Trippier could maybe chip in with an assist there, as he is on lots of set pieces for them. And Joachim Myler does remain in the squad as well at 4.5. He's a player that I'm not massively happy with, so maybe one that could potentially change as well, as he does have a pretty tricky fixture of France. We did see him get quite attacking once more for Denmark, whipping in lots of very good crosses, and it seemed to be in their fixture against Tunisia that their best attacking play did come through that left-hand side of Joachim Mailer. So hopefully, even if he doesn't record returns against France, he does have that good fixture in matchday 3 against Australia, where he could produce returns. He's mainly one looking to target that fixture in matchday 3, just so we don't have to book in that transfer down the line. And regardless, if he does blank against France, sorry, we can always make a substitution there. But one potentially we may look to leave out and look to swap for another 4.5 defender. Moving on to the midfielders now, Dani Olmo does step into the midfield after a very, very good performance in matchday 1. Does have one of the highest XG and XA combined figures out of all players so far in this tournament. I was really, really convinced with that Spain performance. That 7-0 win was absolutely comprehensive. They dominated the game in pretty much every facet, and Dani Olmo was at the heart of the attack, getting himself a goal and an assist, and getting into some very good positions as well, as highlighted by his XG and XA. That Germany side did concede 2 goals to Japan. They weren't looking the most solid defensively either. So potentially Spain can breach out the defence. So I am very happy to have Dani Olmo in the midfield at £8 million. He is also the player that we've brought in instead of Kevin De Bruyne to save that extra £3 million, which has allowed us to make an upgrade elsewhere in the squad. Looking at the other two midfielders in Saka and Klaassen, two players that did record goals in their first match days of the tournament. Bukayo Saka obviously recording 15 points for England with 2 goals and an assist. He's one that looks to be an excellent pick at £8 million in the midfield, with USA and Wales as his next 2 fixtures. We've seen that England attack make a great start, scoring 6 goals in their first game. And I'm hoping this can continue, as they probably do have one of the strongest attacking outfits. Bukayo Saka should be nailed on to start the next 2 games after a very good start to the tournament, so I am hopeful for some more returns for him. And Klaassen as well looks to play that box-to-box role extremely well. We saw him play it very well in his first match, picking up a goal and also having one of the higher XG figures out of all players so far with 0.8. We saw Wijnaldum play the box-to-box role very well for Netherlands in the 2020 Euros tournament, and it looks to be that Klaassen could be the man for him, could be the man for Netherlands this time around in this international tournament. So once again, with Ecuador and Qatar as his next 2 fixtures, could prove to be quite a nice value option at £6 million if he can continue his good goal scoring form. Looking to the forwards now, it is a very star-studded front 3 with Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, the full PSG front 3 featuring in the squad here. Currently Messi does have the captain's armband. He faces Mexico, which is another very good fixture. Messi, like a couple of these other players in the squad in Mbappe, did have extremely good underlying stats, was able to convert his penalty and did have a disallowed goal. Also could have had an assist if it wasn't for Martinez's goal being ruled offside. So for sure could have had a lot more points against Saudi Arabia in matchday 1, but with Mexico in matchday 2, another chance for that Argentina side to bounce back. Their attack did look pretty good. Once again, had a lot of goals that were disallowed, so they could have had a lot more in that match against Saudi Arabia, but happy to have Messi in the side. Neymar does remain in the squad here as well, despite not playing in matchday 1. Switzerland, I do think, is a great chance for the Brazilian forward to continue some good form that he's picked up in the Ligue 1 this season, and we'll have to see how he fares in matchday 1 as well against Serbia. And then Kylian Mbappe, one of the best premium options in World Cup Fantasy. We didn't unfortunately have him in the side in matchday 1. That was a massive regret. Obviously went for Griezmann as the more budget alternative. Griezmann, despite putting up good underlying numbers, couldn't record the points. Mbappe, on the other hand, had even better underlying numbers. He does have the most XG out of any player so far amongst the matches in the World Cup. Also chipped in with a 0.6 expected assist stat, which also ranked towards the top amongst all players. So very good underlying numbers, and that's why he does come into the side against Denmark. He then has a very good fixture after Denmark as well, so I do really like France's next 2 fixtures in the group stage. Mbappe has taken the most shots out of any player in the tournament as well with 7, so he's getting lots of chances for his side, getting into good positions, and that is why we are willing to pay the big £11.5 million price tag for Mbappe, as he is the most expensive player in World Cup Fantasy. Looking to the bench now, the Uruguay goalkeeper does remain in the squad at £4 million. He has got a good fixture in matchday 2, which I would expect him to potentially get some points in. Otherwise, Mendy can remain there. He is still yet to play South Korea in matchday 1. Does have Portugal in matchday 2, so which is a difficult fixture. My bad. And then Mendy will probably remain the starting goalkeeper. But since Rocher is coming in at just £4 million, allows for extra money to be spent around the squad. Matty Cash also at £4 million to Saudi Arabia. He got himself a clean sheet in matchday 1. I'm hoping that Poland defence can repeat the trick in matchday 2, and to get a £4 million starting defender with a good fixture, I'm always going to take that value. And Cash looks to be that guy. Skov Olsen is actually listed as a midfielder in fantasy, but he looks to be playing as a forward for Denmark in his first game. So at £6 million could prove to be a nice option. Once again, in a similar boat with Myla in not really having a good fixture in matchday 2 against France. But for that fixture against Australia and matchday 3 could be worthwhile targeting those Denmark players, and that's why Skov Olsen features in the team. And Hatem from Qatar does face Senegal in matchday 2. He's also coming in at the minimum price of £4 million, and having this very cheap bench has obviously allowed us to afford those triple premiums up top, whilst also having a pretty strong midfield and defence as well. So we are really prioritising the starting 11 here, and prioritising the fixtures in matchday 2 and 3 to try and get the most out of the points from this team, and hopefully see a rank rise, as currently the rank after matchday 1 isn't looking too good. Thanks for watching today's Matchday 2 Wildcard team selection for World Cup Fantasy. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a like and subscribe if you're enjoying the World Cup Fantasy related content. Also, click that notification bell to stay up to date with all of our recent uploads. And as always, check out our second channel, FPLflare, linked in the description for World Cup and football related content. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.